Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video, I'll be going through my AFL fantasy team for round 18, through the trades, through how I'm navigating all of the chaos with the all the guys out, especially after the news last night that Heaney's appeals failed. And how I thought that would bring Parker into the side, but it doesn't. So it brought Wicks into the side, which doesn't have a fancy relevance. But I thought for the Swans they'd make that swap there. But in essence, now that means that it means obviously that Heaney out, we lose a primo scorer, but it means that I can use him as effectively a loophole in trying to get another really good scorer in there. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed about that, to be honest with you. And now I'm just thinking about ways in which the current side in which I can loophole, because I have loopholes almost across every single line, to be honest with you, including a couple tonight in Manor and Humphreys. I'm going to be loopholing them through the emergency just to see if we can get really good scores, because if I get really two good scores out of Humphreys and also Manor, that means that, I'll be sorted. So anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into the video. So, trying to not give anything away, but this is how the team lines up. You would have seen that I would have had about 580k left in the tank when I did my review a couple of days ago on on the Tuesday, I believe, because it was at the Wednesday. Did the review on the Wednesday, then yeah, it would have been on the Wednesday. So a couple of days ago, you would have seen I had 300 more K in the bank, and you can sort of lend that to you'll see exactly where that's just been a direct spend effectively. But backline doesn't change at all. I'm just going to be careful with the loophole of Hayden Young. I can do that loophole. I haven't thought about any of these guys. I could do Sheasel, but I could actually do Sheasel, I think. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't know whether I'll loophole anyone. I might put a poll up doing a loophole on all my things, just suggesting who should I potentially loophole just in case out of the primos. But yeah, I have the opportunity to do loophole, so you might as well do it. I just need to be careful because I'll be on my phone doing the loophole, and that can cause chaos, I can tell you that. So I just need to be careful of the timing of it, because I am going to the Swans North game, so it will be a little bit, the phone is a little bit more fiddly, I should say. So then we go down here, all these guys are the same. Nick Dacos VC, that Geelong midfield looks shocking, to be honest with you. Who did they play last round? They played... who did Geelong play? Let me just check that. They played Hawthorn. The week before that, they played Essendon. If I go down to all clubs, and then go down to Essendon, and then go down to averages, and then go to... So you got... Merritt went 89 against Geelong. Then you had... where is it, Ridley? Let's go to positions. Midfield. I'm trying not to give it away. Durham went 91 here. Can I do it this way? 900, 800. I'm trying not to give it away who I actually have in that through my trades. Dersma ended up going 74 against them. 600s. It was Caldwell. Caldwell I'm pretty sure went big against them as well. And then there's no other midfielders, I don't think, for Essendon, to be honest with you. Perkins as well, what did he go? He went 58, so I'm not too worried about his score, to be honest. And Shield, who didn't play against them. So yeah, not too worried about that in general. So I just think that Geelong, they're a good matchup, and I don't think they'll necessarily tag. If we look at AFL lineups, I don't even know if they have O'Connor necessarily lined up. Where is O'Connor? Henry, no, not in anywhere there. Bose, no, they don't have O'Connor. The closest they'll get to a tag is Clark. As Dangerfield won't tag, Atkins could, but I don't think Atkins will run into I'm not too worried about that at all. So yeah, I don't think he'll tag. Manor, I'm surprised was he named there last week on the half forward flank? Where was he named last week? Or was he on the bench last week? I mean, he probably... Where are they? Let me find... Where are Geelong? Here they are. He was named... at the half forward flank. So I'm not too worried about Matter. I am looping just in case he drops a stinker, because when we get to that, you'll see that. But just in reference to all of that, I think that Dacos is a good VC option, just because Geelong, they seem to give up good points. And so and Zach Merritt was on, I think, 69 at halftime, and then I don't know whether what happened necessarily in that game. My memory evades me, but 89 for him in that game wasn't the greatest, but I just think that Nick Dacos is different, and he will just be able to run rings around everyone. And then, Harry Sheasel against the Swans, probably a JJ tag game. They could tag even McKercher just because they can. That could be a case as well. Just because they have a logjam in that midfield now with Mills, Rowbottom, Warner, Adams. They may just keep James Jordan out of that midfield. But also you've got Sheasel probably playing off half-back as well, which will make it easier for him. So he's either going to go to, I think, James Jordan will either go to McKercher or to Sheasel. I think that it's more likelihood Sheasel. I don't think he could go to LDU, but I think LDU gets the Rowbottom matchup, and then Wardlaw will be interesting to see who Mills may get that matchup straight up, which will be interesting. Nick Martin, who's he play? He plays Melbourne. I'm not too worried about that matchup. Then we go down here and you'll see the first trade. Connor Rosie in straight for Fraser, and you probably also saw the secondary trade. I am not captaining Nank. I'm going to figure out who I'm going to captain, but it won't be Nankervis. It may actually just be one of the Port boys, actually, in matter of fact. It's probably going to be a Butters, just because that Gold Coast midfield is absolutely pathetic. And Butters, he's doing his work there. Butters will probably be the captain. And that's just because that Port midfield against Gold Coast should absolutely run amok, especially because it is at People's First. But then again, we'll see what actually goes on there. I still think that Butters can do really well at there. That's basically the whole side there. Just going through, and these were the trades there. Gone out 2 to 3 weeks. I'm taking him out. I'm not necessarily going to trade him in Supercoach just because of the being down to one trade. It's sort of limited that, I'll say. But he will be traded in fantasy just because it's better. And the reason I'm not trading Isaac Heaney, we'll get to that point, but might as well cross it now, is just because one game out, I can cover him with most likely Tholstrup scored a 70, has scored a 70 in 2 games and a 50, so I might burn 50 points this week. Let's put it that way, because I think Manor or Tholstrup will score a 50, so I burn 50 points. But I'm going to make that up, because if we look at the positions, the forwards, I'm going to make that up because the averages, if we go to averages, the next best is 80, 80, 80, 80. So I've gained 30 points around bringing in someone here, because none of these, I could bring Billy Dowling in, but into the forward line, but none of those guys are really going to be that damaging bringing in. I just don't think that there's going to be a forward that I can bring in for a week that is going to be that damaging. Isaac Heaney probably, if he'd actually, I wouldn't have got Nag Irvis probably if Luke Jackson, if Isaac Heaney hadn't been out for a week, I probably would have saved that and just gone with the upgrade overall. But that's another story. But I just think that Isaac Heaney being out for 1 week isn't that bad, because I think over the course of the year, the rest of the year, they've got 6 other games to play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games to play. Is he going to make up the other 50 or 60 points to even a other midfielder? But I think it will be only like a 30-point gain, because Rankin's out. Sexton could easily be out. We don't know that. Fisher is out. Danaher's a key forward who's gone 61 in his last 84, so he might not even do that well. Graham Myers went 67. Harry Mackay in his last game went 65. Mason Wood, an interesting one here as well. I think he could actually be an alright 23rd primo for that, but he's not done terribly well. You've got Jessica Cameron went 102, but 57 the week before, so that's an average of 80 odd across his last 2. So you sort of got 80 guys here. And Brad Hill being out sort of made that decision even easier. But you got a lot of 80 guys here. So is Isaac Heaney, from a 50 base score that we're projecting Manor or Tholstrup to get, is he going to be able to catch up those 30 points in the subsequent 6 weeks? So is he going to average 5 more than all of these guys for the rest of the year, I think that is the reason why you hold Heaney. And I know he was at 44% when I last checked this last night. He's already at 43%. So he's going to be massively traded out. And then people are going to go, well, whoopsie, is what it is simply going to be, because he's going to catch those points up, in my belief. So that is my whole spiel on Isaac Heaney and the reason why I am holding him. This midfield, Errol's got the North matchup with no Phillips and a Shields tag, so he might actually go absolutely bonkers as well. So there is the chance to captain him if Dacos didn't fire, but I think that's... who do Essendon play as well? Essendon play Melbourne with a no... Ooh, there is so much thought of just going Caldwell and captaining him, given that he's gone 126, 144, 130 against basically a nothing midfield of Viney, Oliver, who else is in that midfield? Because they have basically no ruckman. They've got Salem, Viney, and Oliver in the midfield, and they've got Tholstrup as the fourth midfielder, I'd expect. Maybe Rivers. So you could actually go for a Caldwell captain. I'm actually going to do that across both platforms, to be honest with you, over Butters. I think Caldwell could be a massive captaincy shout. Actually looking at that. So you got that. What was I talking? Errol, no tag for him. He should go huge. Bontempelli, he's playing against Carlton, so that probably isn't the best matchup, but we'll see. Tom Green has the Richmond matchup, that's another positive matchup. So there's a lot of VCs and Cs out here. There's Caldwell, there's the Butters Rosie, there's Tom Green, there's even Errol Goulden, there's Nick Dacos, you could even say Lockie Whitfield. What did he go last time against? He hasn't played Richmond this year, but he goes 102 against Richmond usually. So you could say even Whitfield as well. Jordan Clark has Hawthorn. What did he go last time against Hawks? Or has he played them this year? He hasn't played them this year. So even that could be an interesting one. So yeah, there's a solid 6 or 7 merit as well. Chris is just holding on here. Plays Geelong tonight, so we'll see how he goes. But hopefully another 2 to 3 weeks of him playing, and then we can possibly upgrade him to a Dunkley by then or something like that. Hopefully, because we'll have still a lot of cash on the bench. Rosie, we talked getting him in just because 774k. I got proven wrong with that logic there, and he's just absolutely firing. Billy Dowling, 390k, just need him to get more and more cash generation. I was going to trade him out this week, but Fraser is the much needed guy to trade out because he's both been sub and his break even is 30 higher, so he's just not going to be making any cash. And this is sort of the last week for Billy Dowling, or even I think to a certain... Probably Billy Dowling, because his is in the 20s. The rest of the guys are in the teens or in the negatives for break even. So last week for Billy. Then we got Nankervis in the ruck. I think he's just going to be one that really surprises people. If you look at DFS and you look at their run home, I think you realise why he's going to be probably... no, I don't want directions to that. No, thank you. We go to ruck department, and then we go to averages. You see Richmond just have a really positive matchup for the rest of the way in, and we'll even see in round 24, the case could be that they even just give Moyle another game, Gold Coast, because the season's over or something like that. You could easily see that. Nankervis could get a rest in that game as well, but when we come to that, we'll come to that. But I think that's him in this matchup, this run here, where he could get games here, because I don't think Richmond actually have a ruckman at the moment as well, who they'd want to blood anyway. So it's not like they're going to play Samson Ryan, I don't think, anytime soon. So I think that Nank is pretty clear, and that run in at the moment is pretty open, especially with Collingwood, with them having basically Darcy Cameron and then no one. That could even open up even more. St Kilda could... St Kilda ruck is actually still really positive. So yeah, we'll just see with that. I just really like that matchup at the moment for Nankervis, and that's the reason why I've got him. Brady Grundy, hopefully he returns back to form. Sam Flanders plays Port Adelaide. What does he do against them? Has only played them once. So we'll see how he goes against Port. Hasn't played them this year as well. So yeah, I'm hoping for a decent score. Dane Zorko back. Is he at Optus Stadium against the Eagles? What did he score earlier in the year against the Eagles? Hasn't played them this year, but averages pretty well against them with a 97 average. So does all right against the Eagles. Jai Caldwell, we're captaining him this week. Just hoping for a big score. Dylan Moore plays Fremantle. This will probably be a tough matchup for him. Has he played Freo this year? Doesn't look like he's played Freo this year. So yeah, I'm not expecting too much from Dylan Moore, but yeah, just hoping he can survive. Much like Crisp, the more he can survive, the more weeks he can just go 100 and just tick it off, or even in the mid-90s, it just ticks it off another week down until we can fix up all these mistakes that we've made. All these guys, because we'd be within about a week or two of Crisp and Moore being done if it wasn't for Gawn going down with an injury. That basically kick-started another week of not falling behind, but another week of just waiting another week. So yeah, I'm basically 1 week off getting Crisp or Moore, being able to swap them around. So yeah, we're close, but we're not completely there yet. Isaac Heaney, as we said, we went through all that process. And then Luke Jackson, 689k. He has solo ruck against Hawthorn, so it should be a positive week for him, which is good in all the chaos here. I could have almost gone for another guy here. I could have gone for a midfielder, as a matter of fact, and then waited another week. That could have actually been an option here, going and getting like a Dunkley or something like that, and then getting a ruckman the next week as well. That could actually be an option. Let's actually just check the midfielders here. Let's actually just check, because it would be just Billy Dowling down here, and then another, and then a midfielder here, and then we don't have access to. So that actually could be an option if I don't like the way that Lawson Humphreys has actually scored tonight. I may go and then just select a Josh Dunkley, who's 20k more expensive than Nankervis. What does Nankervis have? An 86 break even. Josh Dunkley has a 72. So yeah, I could, if Lawson Humphreys doesn't get a fieldable score tonight against Collingwood, I probably will go with the Luke Jackson into the ruck spot and getting a Josh Dunkley here, because I think that'll probably be the best way to go about it. And that'll be that they're getting him. I could maybe go Sinclair, who's been pretty much on fire as well the last little bit, but I think I'll go Josh Dunkley over that. I could go Neil as well, who's been doing really well, but I think Josh Dunkley is the better bet with his recent form. So yeah, that'll be that decision there. But anyway, that pretty much is it. I still have a lot of cash on the bench. What's that? 123, 216, 380, 387, what's that now? 481, 541 plus 196. So I have almost 700k left on the bench effectively, and I just have to upgrade basically a 200k up, which I can do already, and we're going to get more cash gen out of Logan Evans, Humphreys, Dowling, Thulstrop, Manor, and Ari Shellmaker this week anyway. So, and I already have 264k in the bank. So yeah, the moves, I have enough to get that last premium, just because of the cash gen out of all these guys. And next week it's probably looking like I would suggest Dowling and Thulstrop up to another to a rookie. That could be Bond, if he doesn't get the sub treatment, as I don't think we've got any rookies this week effectively. So it could be that, but it also could be to another rookie, 200k or something like that. But hopefully Clay Hall plays sometime soon. He's close, I've heard, but we'll see about that. But anyway, that pretty much is the video there, going through all of my AFL fantasy thoughts for my team. I think I'm in a decent spot. I'm hoping to push inside the top 5k after a horrendous sort of decision making during the season. I don't think I've really made necessarily a poor-ish decision in the last couple of weeks. I mean, I brought in a Jai Caldwell last week. That was definitely a winning decision. The week before that, I brought in traded in Dane Zorko for his back-to-back hundreds, so that was a good decision. The week before that, I brought in Zach Merritt for his 111, 89, 120, so he's averaging 107 in my side. That's another decent win, as well as bringing in the rookies that I have been bringing in. And the week before that, I brought in Jordan Clark, who hasn't really fired, and Brodie Grundy, who's done pretty decent. So I think that is definitely a win I brought in guys that I haven't really had to worry about. And the week before that, I brought in Tom Green, who's starting to fire again. Errol Gordon, who, when I brought him in round 13, he was doing, he went 151, 127, 154, 82, 90. So his last 5 that have basically all been my side is still a 120, which is a really good outing. So that pretty much is the video there, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.